Well, welcome back, everybody. Saturday marks 1 year since Hurricane Helene caused widespread damage across the CSRA, affecting many people in Georgia and South Carolina. So I am joined by North Augusta Mayor Briton Williams to discuss where the city was and how far you've come since the hurricane hit. How are you?
I'm great, Kimberly. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here with us. Let's just take a look back at the hurricane on that day. How did you find out? I'm sure you were getting calls about something is coming, something is. Do you remember when everything hit?
Well, I mean, I think the part of the challenge was I don't think anyone expected it would come the way it did. Yeah. So, you know, when the power goes off, I wake up early every morning. I ended up getting up earlier. Okay. And when I had to take a little 9-month-old golden retriever outside to go to the bathroom, I'm sitting there going, you better hurry up and go because this is not looking real good.
At all.
So, but, you know, when you're inside, I mean, you know, you're trying to find where do you stand in the middle of the house and the noise and the wind. I mean, it was frightening.
Yeah. Frightening for you and of course a lot of your constituents in this area.
Oh, my goodness.
When daylight finally hit, when you finally realized what had happened and all of the debris and all of the storm damage, what was your thought and when did you take a tour?
I couldn't believe it. You know, I've talked to a lot of folks who have lived in North Augusta their whole life. Pat Carpenter's on our city council, Bill Hickson, who's a representative in the state house in South Carolina. You know, it was for North Augusta, I'm not saying for Augusta, but for North Augusta, we have never had any disaster like that, ever. Yeah. I mean, ice storm, everybody talks, oh, it's the ice storm. And this is nothing like the ice storm. Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, in the beginning, you know, you just start, I mean, where I live in Hammond Hills, you know, we had trees falling on the roads where, you know, we couldn't even get out in the beginning. So but, you know, for our city administrator, Jim Clifford, who was a former garrison commander at Fort Gordon. So Jim did an incredible job because one of the first things we needed to do was we needed to make sure that we wanted to be able to provide water, we want to provide, you know, flush the toilet, we need to make sure those things are working, and we need to start getting our major thoroughfares like George Avenue and Martintown Road, we needed to get those roads clear for emergency vehicles.
I was going to say, how do you start with such a mess? Where do you start? But that makes sense. You had somebody on your team who kind of knew what they were doing, and that was helpful, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know if any of us knew what we were doing, but yes, we had a plan. But we told Dominion, who is our electrical, you know, utility in South Carolina for us, that, you know, we needed to make sure, like our lift stations for our sewer, you know, we had generators running, but we told them, you know, in the next first few days, you got to get our infrastructure in place because we have got to have water, and we always had water for our citizens. So that was so important, and we had to get those infrastructures done the first few days as soon as we could, so then we could start working toward the other aspects.
Right, and we want to talk about too, because there are some people, they are still looking to clean up. So North Augusta has really a grand footprint. You've got the stadium there, you've got the new apartments being built, your municipal building is fairly new, and then just some of the other areas that are being developed. How did you decide where to start, when to picking up all of that debris, and how much debris do you know roundabout that you all have picked up?
That's a good question. We picked up 500,000 cubic yards. Wow. So a cubic yard is like 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Mm-hmm. So a lot of debris.
Yes.
Probably damage was north of 3 million. Okay, wow. Just in a little North Augusta now. I can't imagine what other communities, but that's a lot for us. That's a big deal. But no, it was a process of doing that. One of the things that we did that we were very fortunate was it cost us $1 million just to get the greenway cleared. Mm-hmm. And we were fortunate that the vendor that was in town doing stuff for the Augusta National was able to
kind of work in the schedule.
Yes, well, we had to put out for bid, but what I'm getting at here, we're fortunate. So again, we spent a lot. The green was a big deal, but yes, we had to your main thoroughfares, and then Hammond Hill was hit the hardest. That was kind of the epicenter as far as I was concerned. It looked like a war zone. I've never been to war, but I've seen pictures. I mean, it's a mess. So Dominion, you think about Dominion, we had probably maybe 15,000 residents. I mean, we're 25,000 population, but probably 15,000 houses, 12 to 15,000 15,000. Dominion did yeoman work. They had everybody up by day 14. We were just about everybody had power.
Wow, that's
which
fast.
is pretty amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So they were give or take, but I mean we were just about there. So
where is North Augusta now? Still picking up debris in kind of some of the outer lying areas, or are you good?
Still a few. There are some. Part of the challenge we had was a lot of people didn't realize this. I didn't even know this. We have a very odd network of roads. So we have ownership of 3 entities own the roads in North Augusta. So the city only owns about 25% of the roads. The other 74% are owned by South Carolina DOT, Department of Transportation. Then the county owns a few roads. We have neighborhoods where you may live, your street may be a DOT street, and the 2 streets around you are city-owned streets.
Wow.
So here we have our debris people picking up here, and you're saying, how come my debris is not? Well, that's DOT, and they had their own plan.
I'm sure that brought frustration.
So that was a challenge.
Yes.
It really was, and that was frustrating for our citizens because you're wondering, you look around, everybody else, why can't you just go pick it up? So that was what I would think was the most frustrating thing for us as a municipality, but for our citizens, because how come my neighbor's street's picked up, but I'm not? Well. Yeah. We don't own that street.
People don't understand that when they need help. Well, they don't want to hear that.
But
let me say that.
to answer your question, we're picking up, we're finalizing, we're just about all done, but we had some stumps that SCDOT could not pick up that we ended up doing. But in general, where all of us are dealing with, I think Augusta and Aiken as well, is, we took our streets and drains crews and we moved them, we took into other departments and had them work in Hurricane Helene. Mm-hmm. So our streets and drains folks, they just started doing their regular list back about 5 months ago. Wow. So you can think about for 7 months it's been piled up. So that's part of the challenge as a municipality is, are we back to normal as far as a citizen? Yes, but we're probably behind the 8 ball or working toward catching up projects that we couldn't do because we had to pick up debris.
Well, it seems like, yes, it does. It seems like you guys have a great plan, even with the trolley there, and I know from some folks who live there that you put a newsletter in their utility bills that talks about what's happening in and around the city. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Called Hometown Highlights.
Yes.
Well, when I was running for mayor for my first term, everybody said, well, not everyone's on social media. Mm-hmm. And the city years ago had a newsletter. And I said, why? And it took about 2 years to get this happening, but we have a hometown newsletter. So regardless of whether you are on social media or not, you're going to get once a quarter in your water bill, and we're trying to give you as much as we can on 2 to 3 pages.
We appreciate all that you've done. Thank you so much for this interview. It's been enlightening. We appreciate it. So good to see you.
We appreciate your time.
Sure, absolutely. North Augusta is an amazing place. Y'all should visit, but we'll be right back with